started like any other day for Axel Loa, a regular guy minding his own business, walking into a public restroom without a second thought. You've done it. I've done it. It's routine. But what Axel encountered that day was anything but routine. It was the kind of experience that sticks with you, the kind that makes you question reality itself. The restroom was quiet, almost too quiet, the type of silence that feels heavier than it should. Axel could feel it the moment he stepped inside. It was unnerving. Something was just off. But like most of us, he brushed it off, telling himself it was probably nothing. After all, it was just a restroom. He wasn't alone on some desolate road at night, but the atmosphere in that room was suffocatingly still, like the calm before a storm, and in a few short moments, the storm would hit. Axel claims he was the only one in the restroom. There was no one else around, no footsteps echoing off the tiled floors, no murmurs from other stalls, just him. And that's where things start to get strange. As Axel stood there, minding his business, he heard something. At first, it was subtle, just faint sounds. But then, the noise grew louder. Banging. Hard, aggressive bangs from inside one of the stalls. Now, imagine standing in a room where you know you're alone and suddenly hearing sounds that shouldn't be there. Axel must have thought he was going crazy. But he wasn't about to leave without answers. He checked each stall one by one. They were all empty. Every single one. No one there to explain the banging. The walls stood bare, the doors hung open, and yet the sound persisted. Feeling the chill crawl up his spine, Axel did what most of us would do when things don't make sense. He pulled out his phone. He hit record, trying to capture whatever was making the noise. Maybe it was his way of reassuring himself that what he was hearing was real, that he wasn't imagining things. His camera panned over the stalls, capturing the empty space, the sterile white tiles, the flickering fluorescent lights. For a moment, nothing happened. The noises seemed to stop, as if the restroom itself was playing tricks on him, mocking him for daring to record. But then it came. Out of nowhere, as if summoned by some unseen force, a face appeared. It was quick, just a blink, a flash, but it was there, staring, watching. The face was pale, almost sickly, with eyes so wide they seemed to bulge out of its skull. There was a hollow, dead look in those eyes, like they had witnessed far too much for far too long. And then, just as quickly as it had appeared, it was gone. Axel didn't notice the face in real time. He was too focused on the bizarre noises and the creeping dread building in his chest. It wasn't until later, when he reviewed the footage, that he saw it. And when he did, it sent a shock through his entire body. There, on his phone screen, was the pale, ghostly face peering out from behind a stall door that had previously been empty. No one had been in that stall. No one could have been. Yet, there it was, clear as day. You can hear the terror in Axel's voice when he talks about it. He's rattled, shaken to his core. And who wouldn't be? Imagine reviewing footage, thinking you've captured nothing, only to see a face staring back at you from the darkness. He describes it as something out of a nightmare, a pale, twisted face with eyes that bore into your soul before disappearing without a trace. But here's where it gets even creepier. The face wasn't just something that appeared and vanished. It wasn't a trick of the light or some glitch in the camera. No, this face was real. It had weight, presence. The way it stared at Axel, the way it just appeared in a space that had been checked and confirmed empty, it felt deliberate, like it was waiting for him to see it, like it wanted to be seen. Axel hasn't given many updates since the footage was captured. He's remained pretty silent on the whole thing, which, if you ask me, is almost more unsettling. Why hasn't he talked about it? What else did he experience that day that he isn't telling us? There's something chilling about the unknown, about what isn't said. Did the face come back? Did it follow him home? Who knows? But even without further context, the video itself is enough to send shivers down your spine. No one has been able to explain what Axel captured that day. Some viewers have theorized it was paranormal, an apparition trapped in the restroom, making its presence known in the only way it could. Others say it's a trick of the light, or maybe a glitch in the camera. But if you watch the footage closely, you'll see it. The way the face seems to move just slightly, the way its eyes seem to focus on the camera. It's not just a fleeting image, it's something more, something alive. And that's the part that sticks with you. The idea that something, someone, was in that restroom with Axel, watching him, waiting for him.